What's up, everybody? Today's a big day because we are launching the brand new Fender American Professional 2 Series. We're really excited about this launch. We launched our new website today, too. So check out empiremusic.com to see all these amazing guitars. We're pumped today because Fender revamped the American Professional Series, and this is the gold standard for their line. This is really what Fender's judged by. And they gave us a lot of new stuff. They gave us, obviously, new finishes, like the guitar I'm holding here right now. They gave us new pickups, the new V-Mod 2s. They gave us a natural satin finish on the neck, a new supernatural feel is what they're calling it, contoured neck heel, new wiring circuitry, and new features across a lot of their models, new wiring schemes that are going to give us more flexibility and just amazing tone, and the guitars are outrageous. What I'd like you to do, since the product is launching today, we're having specials, so call us 412-343-5299. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're at it. We'd love to have it. And today I'm going to be joined by both our in-house specialists, Todd Myra, and then Anthony Pecora is going to be joining us later with the basses. And we're going to go through the models. So the Stratocaster, 3 single coils. They have an HSS version as well we're going to do. We have a Telecaster traditional. We have a Tele Deluxe model that we're going to demo for you. And the Jazzmaster on the electric guitar side, then the J and the P bass. We have a bunch of these right on our site, always free shipping. We do full factory setups on everything we sell. It will come to your house, or if you pick it up in store, it will come to you ready to play out of the box. We're working really hard to do that, and let's check it out. So let's do it. Todd, give us the rundown on the new American Professional 2 Stratocaster. Let's go through the new features, and then let's play through
them. So I think you mentioned a lot of them a few seconds ago. You mentioned about the new natural satin feel. It does. When you do feel this, it is... I can't explain it other way than just smooth. It's really smooth, very comfortable. They did keep the same neck profile. We should mention that. The fret wire is the same. Here's that contour neck heel now, which is a great feature. Obviously, you don't get poked in the palm as you're coming up. The new pickups, the V-Mod 2s, fantastic. And with the new addition of the push on the it's always going to be on the tone knob, whether it's the HSS or the 3 single, but it does different things. In this case, what it's doing is it's bringing in the bridge with neck in position 1, and then you're getting the middle, I guess the position 2 with neck. So it's a way of getting 1 and 2 with the neck pickup involved.
Yeah, so basically what's really cool is what we do on our custom 67 line. If you know, we have a custom blending system that you're in their bridge pickup, we can bring the neck in. And also in position 2, you get all 3 pickups. Fender listens to their customer base incredibly well. And these are features that all of you have been asking for. You've been wanting more versatility, and Todd's gonna be able to show you. And they did a killing job because the pickups, they talk about it, more articulate. You know, I think they sound more vintagey. Todd, you can give your impression.
Yeah.
There, much warmer.
Yeah, I think they dialed back some of the, maybe if there was the brightness that were in the originals, to give it more of that vintage vibe. So they sound fantastic. And then having this new push feature really just kind of gives it a whole nother level of play of sound wise.
You see the finishes, like I'm holding what they're calling Miami Blue.
Dark Night,
which I've been calling Mystic Blue for some reason. I've renamed it Mystic Blue on my own, but it's Dark Night. We have you can see all the finishes that we have in stock. We have we probably have about 20 guitars in stock right now, but we have another 50 coming Friday or Monday. So if there's a finish that you don't see, you can pre-order it right from us. Like I said, give us a shout, 412-343-5299. Todd, let's play through it and let's hear what they sound like clean and distorted.
Yeah, sure. So it's running through a Supersonic 22 clean, just a little bit of reverb, so it's really not filtered. Here's just your bridge pickup. Now I'm just going to leave it the tone knob, the push in, just so you can hear the new
pickup on its own.
Traditional bridge, it has that spank, but again, it's not shrill in any way.
The push.
Yeah, so now I'm going to bring in. You heard all right. That is now. So push is cool because it's not a push pull. You just have to do this, and it's in and out. So when it's out, you're going to hear the sound warm up tremendously. And what's cool about having that function, whether like in the custom shops, we have the blender, which does the same thing, but a roll. to be able to bring the neck in without using the tone where you're kind of sucking all the life out of it, that's brilliant. It's like a best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that bridge pickup isn't traditionally like the most famous Fender sound. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna, Stratocasters, you think about 2 and 4 and 5 where they, have those certain tones that are famous. This makes the bridge pickup a lot more modernized. It's like you want that cut and glassiness, but you want a little bit fatter. It's the answer right there.
Yeah, and they didn't eliminate the tone. I mean, it's still there, so it's there. But if you want to roll that off, but there's a big difference between that and that. So it's like you're getting the best of the neck and the bridge. So, and it also works in position 2 as well. So typical position 2. So again, it's just a way to give it a different sound. Similar like the S1 where you get those additional wirings, you're getting 2 extra wirings. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it just kind of stays the same. Positions 3, 4, 5 are going to be your traditional middle, the position 4, and then of course a nice warm neck.
I'm gonna show it a little gain, and then we'll go to the HSS while you do that.
So then just hitting the gain side of the supersonic. Again, you want to use that push, you can do it. So just real nice through on that. It's amazing, just a flick of a switch and boom, you're in a completely different sound. So again, it works with the second position as well. In. Position 3, middle. Wonderful neck.
Yeah, they sound killer. Let's go to the HSS. What's cool about the HSS that I don't have to play here, that this guitar has a humbucker that's wound in a new way. So there's nothing worse than a coil tap when you go to a single coil on a humbucker and it just sounds dead. And it's like it's 20% of the volume. And it's just like a stupid feature that you find in low-end guitars that's supposed to be great but doesn't work. Well, they figured it out here. And if you want to talk just in layman's terms about the wiring here, what makes it special, because this is the first time we've seen something like this from Fender.
Yeah, this was it makes when you read about it and you think about it, it makes perfect sense. But it is something new. It's really cool. So what the push does on this guy is it's a coil splitter, but there's a twist to this. So when it is in your normal humbucker, what's happening is the way they wired this, you have your one coil is wound so many windings, and then they overwound. There's a hotter side to this.
Yeah, the back rail is overwound.
So it's normally a humbucker is wound. Both coils are wound the same amount. This they're doing a lighter and then an overwound. So what it's doing is it's kind of a tapped sound is what they're calling it. And then when you do the push, it's splitting the humbucker, but you're getting the hotter side of the hotter coil. So, and I think what it has done is it's balanced the trio of pickups, because typically, if you have a split humbucker, when you coil split it, it really, like the life of it just gets cut off. And then all of a sudden it's like you get that single coil Strat sound, but then when you bring in your middle and neck or you go to it, there's this jump, much better tone on these guys. So they figured out a way to make all three sound good.
Yes, hear it.
So again, back to the clean. You can hear, I didn't even touch the volume, so you can hear how much more output you have from this pickup. So then that's what the humbucker, and then push, push. So not weak by any means. So, and then when you combine, again, if we go to the middle, now it's like the other way around. Now your bridge is the leader, and then you have your other pickups that will follow suit. So that's what it does on the HSS model.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, really, a coil tap is one of the traditionally one of the, I always thought one of the dumbest features. I just think it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like your guitar isn't working. It's just you pop it out and you get a third of the sound. It just sounds horrendous. There's no like tone. It's just quieter, which, like I said, it looks good on a spec sheet and you feel like you're getting something that's extra on your guitar. Here in this instance, it's an actual viable option when you play it. If you're gonna, whether you play live or you're a, like a bedroom player like myself, when you go ahead and you engage that feature, it's going to be useful for you. You can actually get a new tone that you can use and the application is worthwhile, which is awesome. So super pumped about that. Let's go to Telecasters. So do you want to run down what's going on with the traditional Tele pickups here? For talking, give us the spiel. This is a butterscotch, which is really cool. And we have a different body material here too.
Yeah, so the American Pro, the original series, the butterscotch model was a body that was made of ash. This time around, they went different. They went with pine. So and pine has been used. I mean, Fender used pine.
Yeah, the original Esquires were pine bodies, and you can see that in their custom shop. I think the very first, I mean, there might have just been a few. One of the hardest guitars ever to find is, I think, the pine custom shop era that we have in the back. I mean, there might be 150 of them made, but it was a popular, design initially.
The thing you notice right away when you pick up this guitar is because it's pine, it's so light,
feathery. It's
beautiful. Whereas the ash is a little weightier. Again, it's a wood commonly used. Fender has for decades, but this thing is just people asking what's the weight, what's the lightest guitar? Well, this thing is beautiful. So that's one difference is the roasted pine now. They're still doing the same. You get the same that natural satin feel, same features that the Strat has. Of VMod 2 Tele pickups. This also has a push-push. What that does is it's going to run them in series in your middle position. So it's similar to like what the S1 does, right? Other features, it has that same bridge that was on the American Pro. So that quarter tray it has the cover, 3 compensated brass saddles.
Top loader available.
That's pretty cool.
So you have a choice to how you want to string your guitar.
Top loading was, I guess that was something common.
Yeah, so if you flip the guitar over, so if people aren't familiar, like a traditional Telecaster is a string through body shape. Something we saw pop up last year in the Jimmy Page models was this top loader feature. So you can actually string the guitar right through the back of the bridge. That makes the string tension less for a little bit slinkier feel. And it almost feels like basically it's a de facto way to shorten the scale almost and cheat. So it gives you a little bit darker tone and it's going to give you a little bit more ease of play. So if you're looking for less string tension, that's a really cool way to do it. And that's like a sneaky cool feature to have on your guitar. That's something you can play and again is like an actual value feature. It's like if you try it, you're going to get an intended response. So if you want something easier to play, it's the way to do it.
It's a way too. If you always wanted to try heavier strings, Teles are very unforgiving because of the string through. They put a set of 11s on here and it's really tight, but this will allow you to do that and not feel like you can't play the instrument. So same thing. All right, so we're here. Clean sound. Again, just beautiful, nice sound. The pickup, I guess the version 2's smooth. Maybe not as bright.
I think in the comparison, when you play these versus the originals sound good. Professional one's a nice sounding guitar. They're much, I think, punchier and brighter and a little thinner sounding. These are much more robust. I think this is as close you can get to a custom shop design in terms of like what they're going for. I just think it sounds more vintagey. I think most players out there want modern features. They want modern playability, that ease of use and the consistency from a modern Fender, but a little bit fatter, rounder sound was desired and they did it, but you don't lose the clarity. And I think you heard that with the Stratocaster when you distort it, Obviously, on this, when you hear the Tele Deluxe, you're absolutely going to hear it, that it stays clean. Nothing's worse than when you turn distortion, you just hear mud come out, and like we didn't have that here. So go ahead and let's rip through it.
Yeah, so just getting a clean sound, very defined. You can hear all the notes in those chords. Position 2. I've never been a fan of the Tele pickup in the neck, but whatever they did with this guy, it's warm, it's fat. I like it.
Why don't you show the middle position with the push?
So again, so you can already hear right away with the series, that's basically a humbucker. So you go from a kind of a weaker traditional mid position. So, I mean, you're going to obviously hear more with the distortions, which I'll jam on right now. So, again, in. So, it's great for boosting if you're for a solo. Yeah, that's a cool feature.
Yeah, really great sounding guitar. They come in a bunch of great finishes that you're going to see on the site. It's just like I said, check it out, empiremusic.com. If you're interested, you have any questions, you can shoot them to us too here, and we can try to answer them for you in a live capacity. You can give us a call, 412-343-5299 for special pricing. So I'm going to give you, Todd, the next guitar, which is the Deluxe. And this is 100% my favorite guitar. I think this is the coolest, like one of the coolest guitars that Fender historically has made. It's just amazing. It's got the big headstock. It's got the oversized pick guard, the wide range pickups. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I'm with you there. This has always been my favorite.
So again, same bridge, same story, but what's going on with the wiring here that makes it a little different?
So here we have what they call like the double tap. So it is, you have with the HSS, you had that thing with the one side being hotter and the other side not. This is just your traditional coil splitter. So, and it comes on both. So now again, you can hear it's more evident because of the humbuckers, but now you get that real traditional glassy Strat sound. There you go. Sorry about that. So yeah, traditional coil splitter with this guy. That's what this one is kind of, I guess, a no frills model. I mean, I think they decided to put the features in the wide range pickups. The overall style of this guitar is just incredible. I'm loving it. So just a little bit of distortion. This is I think of the Keith Richards every time I see something like that.
Yeah, they just, I mean, it feels amazing. And the natural satin finish that they did on the back of this, it's like really evident when I handed it to you. It's just when you touch the necks on the guitars, they're really broken in. I've done a bunch of videos on these on YouTube that you can see. And I always feel like I liken it to like an old baseball glove. When you put your hand on it, it's like it just feels already worn in. And these also have rolled fretboard edges, which we didn't touch on.
No, yeah.
So all these models, instead of having a squared off 90-degree edge of the fretboard to the actual, fingerboard, it's rolled, and it just feels more comfortable. You put your hand over it and you're using your thumb over top, and you're going to notice that in its comfort. So I think, a great job on these. And I mean, this finish here with the black pickguard and the cream knobs, I mean, they just knocked it out of the park.
Should mention this bridge also has the top loader option as well.
Yeah. So if you want to hear these with, again, different types of strings, different stringing configuration, whether it be string through or top loader, it's available to you. So let's go. My next guy here for Todd, and Todd's last performance, so he's going to make it count, is the Jazzmaster. And give that to you, Todd. Now, the greatest part about the Jazzmaster is the American Pro 1. I said this already. We kind of got ripped off on the Jazzmaster. We got tricked without the top circuit, the traditional neck circuit. And now we get the full ability of a traditional, in terms of like the controls of a regular, old school Jazzmaster, which we like. And these pickups sound amazing. You have a new tremolo system here called, I think, is the Panorama tremolo, and its goal is to allow you to not only do like your Jazzmaster type of traditional Jazzmaster, but also has the ability to control like a Stratocaster. So it's a little bit more versatile that way. So if you've ever found a Jazzmaster and the bar, and you found it to be kind of a little wonky to use it like a Strat, here that's going to be cleaned up for you. And the pickups on this sound amazing. It's got the new circuitries. I'll let Todd take it away from here on that.
So this one, they did again, all of the tones are the push on every model. What's unique about this is it still has that traditional Jazzmaster switch with your thumb wheels. What's interesting about this guy is when the switch is up, the pickups are in series. So basically you're bypassing these controls in favor of these controls, but it's running the pickups in series, and you have your volume tone wheel. So there's obviously your tone and your volume. But again, with series, you're getting that thicker, beefier sound, especially from P90s. I mean, you can already hear how it's really fat. And again, these can all give you controlled with V, volume, and tone. So then when we go to our down position, you have now the gain of these controls. And this is unique. This is where the push comes in. So now we're running the pickups in parallel, which is your typical Strat 2/4 type thing, right? So when it's down, you have almost like a lower output sound. But then if you want to fatten it up a little bit, you go out. So it kind of juices the pickups.
Sure. Let's check it out in the neck and see.
Yeah, so the neck, I'll keep it clean. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing. You have so many sounds with this guy.
Let's hear it at the gain.
Ripping. So again, this was all in that parallel thing, and so then you really wanted to give it to another level. So what's cool about this, the whole thing, you can go from a traditional Jazzmaster to a flamethrower just from the flick of the switch. So it's great.
Cool. So that's the electric guitar lineup. Now, these are going to come lefty in 2021. So if you're a left-handed player, don't feel left out totally. They're going to have those available for us. But what we have the traditional Strat. We have an HSS Strat. We have a traditional Tele. We have the Tele Deluxe. Then we have the Jazzmaster. So those are all available right at empiremusic.com. You can give us a shout, 412-343-5299 for this special pricing. Also, if you go to our site during normal store hours, there's a thing in the top right now where it will say Ask an Expert. And myself, Todd, and Anthony, starting tomorrow, will be on there. So if you have questions right through the site, you can just hit us with a message right that way, and we can get to you right away. So don't feel shy about doing that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a line change right now. We're going to bring Anthony in over the boards. He's going to come on in and play some tasty bass riffs for you. I'm grateful for Todd for sitting in here and playing for you so you didn't have to hear me play. But just for what it's worth, what we're going to talk about on the new American Pro 2s is not only do we have new finishes, we have new pickups, we have rolled fretboard edges, we have new circuitry on all the electric guitars, we have contoured neck heel, which is very, very comfortable. On the Telecasters, we have the ability to do top loading, as well as the ability to do a traditional string through design. These all come with TSA hard shell cases, all come with the factory warranty. So why do you get one of these guitars? Because they're great. Why do you get it from Empire Music? As a brief commercial, as Anthony sharpens his skates for the line change. That we're going to do a full factory setup for you. There's no one in the country who's doing a full factory setup. We have 2 authorized techs on site that adjust every single guitar and do a full setup so they're dead on to factory specs. Look at Anthony lunging in. He's here.
Hi, guys.
Anthony's videos on YouTube on these guitars are amazing. Do you want to do the J or the P?
You
first?
pick it, man. I don't care.
We'll do the P first.
Yeah.
Okay,
call.
so we're going to talk about the bass lineup. Now, the bass lineup for right now are 4-string only, but we have 5s coming, right? Next
I
year.
think that's the same release as what the lefties are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
The
And I think and fretless as well.
5 lefty and fretless.
Yeah.
All come out in February, I
So
believe.
if you haven't already checked out our YouTube page today, you can see all of our videos on these.
And if you are on Facebook or YouTube, I put a link that's pinned as a comment that'll take you to our brand new website and the American Pro page. So that's easy access for you if you guys are watching.
Is that bass amp on there?
It is.
We were fired up.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, spec wise, Todd, shout out to Todd for shredding on every guitar that he touches in the store. And tonight was no exception. All the specs that he was talking about kind of come into play on this one. Brent, what camera am I at? Okay, cool. Hi. Like staring over here. That's great. My live stream debut is a success. So like the supernatural satin finish you guys talked about, the new colors, obviously. Now with the basses, as bass players, we have it easy. That all that switching stuff and in phase, out of phase, coil tapping, we don't get into too much of that, specifically with Fender. It's always pretty straightforward. Straight P pickup. Now pickups are redesigned for this. American Pro 2 pickups. Oh, this one. I see. Okay. Confused me.
Yeah.
We're
not the best in the biz for nothing.
I don't know, man. I'll just look at Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Let's have a talk.
So yeah, the new pickups are redesigned to have different amounts of Alnico per magnet. And essentially what they're trying to achieve with that is a more even response frequency-wise throughout the instrument. So from like the low string to the high strings, everything's kind of volume-wise better. I think it does that. And, all the videos that we put on YouTube kind of show that too. So same bridge, which is a great bridge. This is the vintage high mass bridge. My favorite Fender bridge. It's lighter weight than their big, bulky one that comes on like the Geddy Lee and things like that. But it still gives you a lot of sustain. String through or top load, either one you want to do. Contour neck heel, like Todd pointed out. And then sonically, it gives you a whole lot, man. It's really, really nice bass. So wide open, tone all the way up, volume all the way up. Pretty typical P bass tone out of it. pitfalls of when we start getting into, you know, how you dig into the notes, as I always say in my videos. And palm muting was crushing with it. It just sounds
Sounds righteous. Yeah.
really good. I mean, you're not a bass player, but you know when new guitars come to the shop and we all react in a very like kind of natural way to them when they pop through, and we're all say, "Oh, they sound good." Like just hearing what he was saying back there, or hearing Todd play like that Tele Deluxe, like when those humbuckers were on, sounded ridiculous. I could just tell right in the front there. So yeah, I mean that's the P in a nutshell. Super P bassy, super traditional, with kind of a twist on it. Great bass.
Yeah, I think what Anthony hit on there is, manufacturers are constantly bringing out new product, and then this thing is crazy light.
I know. That's we're going to talk about. These are going to sell, everybody. All you light bass all the light bass wanters out there.
Yeah, this is your dude.
Yeah.
But manufacturers are consistently bringing out new product, and oftentimes across the industry, you'll see a list of what is supposed to be achieved by this new model, other than separating you from your money. And most of the time, I feel like if you look across the entire industry, I don't think most of the time, like when new stuff comes out, it's like that dramatic. I feel like most of the time some of the stuff hits the mark. Some of the time it doesn't. With Fender, in this instance, they promised us new pickups that are supposed to give you a more articulate, more robust feel. And I think they absolutely did that. The feel is incredible on them. I mean, the necks alone, I thought was, if you hold an American Professional 1, this just feels higher end immediately as soon as you touch it. And your senses, as I always say, like your senses are your sight. Do you like the way it looks? And if you remember the American Pro 1 launch, what happened? It was like olive green, the muted, like navy gray, whatever, the gray, sonic gray.
We're a Fender dealer.
Not
Sorry,
yet.
Fender. You didn't knock those ones out there color-wise.
They really didn't do a killing job. But then the Ultras came out, smashed it with the colors.
Yeah.
And these.
So great point, because this blends, there's Ultra features on this.
For sure. Contour
neck heel, the feel of the neck, the satin finish, just like it's a blend. They're definitely borrowing from that. That was a hugely successful launch.
And still, I mean, the Ultras are killing, you know what I mean? But and then you touch it, you look at it. Is it beautiful? Do you like the way it looks? Yeah, I want one of those. Then you touch it, and if it doesn't feel right, none of this other stuff matters. You know what I mean? It's just like if it doesn't look cool, you're not going to get it. You're not going to try it. If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't make a difference how it sounds because you're not going to enjoy playing it.
Right.
So they knock the feel out, and then tonally, they delivered exactly what they promised, and the pricing is spot on. I mean, it's like the price really didn't move on these from American Pro to 1 to 2. So let's check out the jazz bass.
And just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying there too, like I'm not a spec guy. Like get a bass in my hands or get a guitar in my hands and like, what's that feel like? Do I like it? Does it sound good? Yes. And like with Fender, what they've done, I think the Ultra did this really well. The American Pro 1s did it really well, and this does too, is it's giving you traditional Fender playability, feel, sounds, but it's just moving the needle a little bit. It's moving it in a more modern direction.
For sure.
In some instances, where the American original, those
stays
obviously
classic.
Exactly. So I think they really did a good job. So jazz bass, this is you said roasted pine on the Tele though, right?
Yeah, the butterscotch one. Yeah.
Right. So the butterscotch Teles and anything natural is going to be a pine body. This thing's super light. I think it was 7.2 pounds.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When I weighed it. And we get a lot of questions on like, what's the weight of a guitar? What's the weight of a bass? These are going to please a lot of players. And that gives it, I think, a little bit more resonance. You know how the lighter bodies might do.
Absolutely.
So same deal. Spec-wise, what we talked about, the new pickups, the vintage high mass bridge, said roasted pine body, supernatural satin finish, and 1.5 inches at the nut with maple neck. This thing's killing. This was a blast to play. And also, we'll point out too that this and the P, I said it in the YouTube videos that we did, were right out of the box.
Yeah.
Like I pulled them right out of the box, didn't tweak anything on them, and they were super playable. And as you said earlier, though, if you purchase one of these basses or any guitar from us, then we're going to do a factory setup on it.
For sure.
Something we're going to charge $50 or $65 for off the street. We include that in all of our basses and guitars, whether it's a Squire for 200
For
or
sure.
a custom shop for 20,000, and those do exist. So okay, cool. So wide open again, both pickups all the way up, tone all the way up on this guy. Great slap tone with it, as you would expect out of a J. And then pull a little bit of tone off. Super throaty, super punchy like you'd expect. And then what I'm really digging nowadays is front pickup on a J. So much P-bass tone when you pull out of that.
Yeah.
Sounds almost like
Yeah,
that
really
with like a
close.
little bit more brightness
Sure,
to
more
it.
cut.
Tones all the way up on that. And you check how responsive it is too. And we roll back pickup. So bridge pickup, that throatiness, that real mid-range, you kind of push sound. Harmonics obviously ring out. So, I mean, great bass, great guitars. It's everything you would expect out of a Fender with like a new spin on it. You know what I mean? Awesome, man.
Yeah, I think that they did a great job. And, I'm not super Todd is someone that can drill down on specs. Like he knows that stuff. So
Yeah.
if you're into those things, reach out to Todd. He can give you all that. I always feel like just for what it's worth, a spec sheet is just like a menu, and you can read a menu and everything should taste great, and then you get it and it sucks. So what you got to remember is just because they put it on there doesn't mean that they're gonna hit it on the head. And we really believed in these. We got to see the prototypes on these, and we ordered a lot of them. I mean, we have easily 125 of these on order.
Buy one, guys. Help us out.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
Get one.
But I always feel like if we're going to sell you an instrument, we have to buy it first, and we have to really, really believe in it. And we didn't limp in on these. We really felt that Fender did an amazing job because they are delivering the most incredible value. I mean, these feel much more expensive than their price point. There's no doubt about it. And you can go into the market, and we spend, if you think you look at guitars, the way we look at guitars, we look at them because we're investing in them many, many times over. And we have to really believe, and Fender does an awesome job. And if you've ever, been in for one of our events here, or, our sales rep, Matt's amazing. And they just do a great job of delivering incredibly high quality instruments that have amazing cases, and they sound great, and they do exactly like they say. And I always think, like, when I go to a dealer meeting, they kind of open it all the time with saying Leo's Fender had to saying, artists are angels. It's our job to give them wings. And that's always, to this day, how they live their brand motto. They want to make sure that they could hand, especially I think an American Pro, to me, is the instrument that could be handed to any artist of any level. If you're a touring artist, they could hand you one of these and you go play a world tour, no problem with it. And it's meant to be that quality. And I don't think there's another electric guitar brand that I'm aware of that at $1,500 can make that claim. I just don't think that that's,
right.
it's just like, it's just off the charts quality, and these guys are stand behind their products, and they're just
And
doing
our
a great
point of
job.
reference too. I say this all the time too to people in the store, or, you know, on the phone, or whatever. Our point of reference for Fender is strong. When we're a huge custom shop dealer,
Yeah.
so it's like we're holding $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 instruments in our hands all the time, and we're also holding $179 instruments in our hand, and $600 in every price point. So our frame of reference is very, very good to say, like, yeah, we like this, and if we don't like something, it's not like, we're honest about that. It's
Yeah.
like, we're going to sell the stuff that we really like. You know what I mean? So it's like, we can totally believe in it. And like, yeah, I just think that's like what sets us apart a little bit, is that, again, our frame of reference is, we know what their really good stuff is like too. And this fits right in with it.
Yeah, we
know?
don't carry every product that a company makes.
Right.
You know, and there's a reason for that. It's not, you know, if you look on our site, how many Fender guitars we have? 500 Fender guitars. I mean, a ton. And it's just like, but there are things that we aren't necessarily into, but we could sell. You know what I mean? It's just like, but we're proud to offer the stuff that we're offering, and we're going to take an amazing time of taking our effort and time to make sure you get exactly what we promise. And we're going to give you the best experience in the country. We're going to give you the expertise of our guys here and make sure that we hone in on exactly what you want and need. And then when it comes time for that setup and you're ready to purchase it, we're going to make sure it's right for you. It's the factory spec. It's going to play easy, because everyone wants low strings without buzz. And, you know, we know that.
The Holy Grail, baby.
It is like, but you know, Aaron does, you know, our tech has been a tech for touring artists that are incredibly famous, and he does an amazing job. And you know, we don't get returns on our guitars because they play like they're supposed to, and you're not gonna have to spend your hard-earned money and then go take it to someone for $75 or $100 worth of, you know, setups and adjustments to make it right. We're going to take care of you. So what I would love for you to do is, if you are on our YouTube, please subscribe. That's really helpful. We'd love to get you all of our content. More importantly, if there's something you see at empiremusic.com, our new site, empiremusic.com, it's just launched today, reach out to myself, Todd, or Anthony. We're here to help you out. We're going to make it worth your while. We have 0% financing. We have free shipping. We do all that good stuff. But we want to make sure that you get the instrument that you are supposed to get, that you want, and that you get it in the condition it was intended to be in. And we're going to take the time to make sure that's right. So when it comes out of setup, one of us touches that instrument again. We play it. We make sure that it's exactly like we're promising you. And then when I send you that tracking number, or my wife sends you that tracking number from my email, right at the bottom is my cell phone number. And it's the same way she calls me. And it's the same way you can call me or text me. It's 412-915-7118. People always think it's like a service. It's my cell phone. If you text me right now, I'll answer it.
I don't have your number.
Yeah, well, let's see if you stick around. But you know, it's like, I'm doing that because I believe in our service, and we don't leave people out to dry. We take care of you, and the guys have all been here a long time. Brent and Aaron behind the cameras here are working really, really hard to do this amazing stuff with all this fancy new technology here. That we used to do these events on my cell phone. Now we do them with 6K cameras and a whole shebang of live TV stuff. So American Professional 2 launches today. We are your source for Fender guitars. Biggest independent custom shop dealer in North America. We have amazing guitars. We have amazing service. And I don't care if you're buying a Squire Mini from us, or you're buying an American Pro or custom shop, you'll get the same attention. We'll really go bend over backwards to give you a great experience. So please check out empiremusic.com. Give us a shout. We'll give you a hooked up deal on the new American Pro 2s, 412-343-5299, empiremusic.com. Thanks for watching.